Okay folks, it's Matthew, we're back. I'm back on Camtasia again. I'm going to go to the University District. I'm going to do Dead Man Running in Elite Mode. I guess it's safe to say that some of my favorite cases have been the sports ones. And we're back, folks. The Grimsborough Quails are facing the Wipeka Armadillos today in one of the toughest games this football season. Go Quails! I will say though, I'm not really a big football fan. I'm more along the lines of a basketball kind of fan. This game is particularly decisive. The winning team will have a real shot at the end of the season bowl. Oh, here he is, Grim College's star quarterback, Troy Takiguchi. First down for the Quails, and they're off. Wait, Takiguchi hasn't passed the ball. He's running straight for the end zone. Come on, Takiguchi, you're the best. I can't believe what I'm seeing. 40 yards, 30? Takiguchi is actually getting close. Look at him go. Come on, you can do it. The Armadillos are all around, rushing to catch him before the touchdown. But wait, no. Troy Takiguchi has fallen, only 5 yards from the line. Ah, no. He isn't getting up. Nobody even touched him. The referees are calling a timeout. Medics are rushing to Takiguchi. What's going on here, Matthew? What's going on here? Matthew, the crowd is going wild. Let's get down to the field. We need to make sure everyone is safe. The stadium has been evacuated, Matthew. Regrettably, we have confirmation that Troy Takiguchi is dead. This is unbelievable. Someone with Troy's stamina and bulk. Some foul play is at work here. Let's gather some clues on the football field, Matthew. I'm also kind of itching to hear some feedback from people. If they would prefer I use Camtasia again, or perhaps continue with my tablet, even though my tablet does give off some sense of guarantee. I'll explain that a little later. Actually, I'll explain that right now. My tablet is basically just like I can do it at whichever computer I want to. But I just prefer the ones at home. Aha! Of course, there is a chance that my computer has been kind of faulting on me lately, and I think you've seen some of it. This is terrible. Takiguchi was a hero for the students of Grimsborough University. He was too young to die. And have you seen his arm? It's completely swollen, about as wide around as a honey-baked ham. This can't be natural. Let's send Takiguchi's body over to Nathan. Hopefully he'll be able to explain everything. And in the meantime, we should have a look at the mouth guard you picked up next to the body. Whoever dropped it must have witnessed Troy's fall firsthand. We should also go talk to Franklin Caldwell. He's the Grimsborough Quails' coach. He may have valuable info about our victim. Starting the autopsy right now, but for now I need to get some starts, so sit tight. Alright, I got myself 10 stars. Let's talk to Coach Franklin Caldwell first. This is such a mess. Losing my quarterback at the height of the football season. Things couldn't get any worse. Coach, I understand this is bad for the team, but shouldn't the death of a player be more important than the loss of a football season? You'll have to excuse me, Ranger Matthew. We all have our own way of dealing with grief. Of course, I'm deeply saddened about Troy's death. No man this young and so full of promise should have to die. Was there anything wrong with Troy? Anything that could explain what happened to him? Not that I know of. I don't think he did much besides training for the games. Entering the major league was his dream. He put everything into it. Now, if you'll excuse me, Ranger Matthew, I've got a team of traumatized players to get back to. I know Coach Caldwell sounds pretty harsh, but he's a great coach, Matthew. He always had his players' best interests at heart, and it's paid off. Now, our victim was a football player, but he was a student at Grimsborough University first and foremost. You're right. The football players are all housed in the same dorm to enhance team building. Let's go check our victim's room out. First, I'll take a look at the mouth guard. There we are. Perfect as always, Matthew. The DNA you collected from the mouth guard you found next to the victim will tell us exactly who it belongs to. Let's give this DNA to Grace straight away. I think that's either 2 or 3, I'm not sure. Excuse me. Okay, let's investigate the dorm room now. Victim's laptop. Aha! Ah, an overloaded laundry basket, the staple of every student's room. If you want to have a look at it, you better plug your nose, Matthew. And I see you found the victim's laptop. Let's boot it up and see what we find. I'll examine the laundry basket first. Football jersey. This football jersey obviously can't belong to our victim. The name isn't the right one. How did it end up in Takiguchi's dorm room? The jersey's owner, Chad Baker, is also a member of the Grimsborough Quails, or to be more precise, he's their reserve quarterback. Takiguchi has been the star quarterback, always coming into play at key moments for the team. Which means Baker has spent a lot of time sitting on a bench. You're right, Matthew. Being left on the sidelines for so long, that could drive a guy to extremes. Let's go have a talk with Chad. About his relationship with the victim. In fact, give me a minute, folks. Okay. Sorry guys, I had to attend to something. Let's talk to Chad Baker. Well, duh, of course you're going to find one of my jerseys in Troy's room. We were roommates. Oh, so you must have been pretty close. Nah, we weren't best buddies or anything. Coach just thought it'd be good for us two to bunk together. Takiguchi was way ahead of you, wasn't he? You're a substitute quarterback and he was getting all the glory. This must have been pretty frustrating. Rivalry's part of the game. Don't you go seeing anything weird about that. Me and Troy always put the team first. But his tragic death means you'll finally be able to play quarterback in the big games. Nice opportunity to finally shine. Examine the victim's laptop. Troy's laptop is asking for a password. Hold on, Matthew, I got this one. No, don't worry, just let me do my thing. A, B, C, D. No, how about 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, I am now officially fed up with this. Matthew, could you please have a go at cracking the password on this laptop, please? Nice work, Jones. Trying for obvious things. There we are. There we are. Our victim's laptop had an extremely secure password, but you cracked it in an instant, Matthew. How did you do it? Seriously. Let's send this laptop to the lab. I'm sure Alex will be happy to retrieve all the relevant data for us. Okay, I'll let everything run its course. So for now, this is Matthew. See y'all later. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. And we're now going to get the results of the DNA. First. You almost never send me DNA, Matthew. I feel like I should do a little celebration. Haha, very funny. So did you find the owner of the mouth guard Matthew found next to our victim's body? Of course I did. Football players all have files, so recruiters can easily check that their records are clean. The mouth guard belongs to Thomas Bodeker. Thomas Bodeker? Wait, he's the quarterback for the Wipeka football team. They're the Quails' rival team, and Troy was playing against him on the field today. Let's go talk to him, Matthew. About witnessing the victim's death. So you found my mouth guard next to Takiguchi's body? That's because I was hot on his heels after he managed to slip by my entire team. He had more speed and energy than humanly possible, but something was obviously wrong. His arm was bulging like crazy. I rushed to him once he fell, but it was pretty obvious he wasn't going to make it. I don't think I'll ever forget the look on his face. You and Troy were rival quarterbacks. I'm guessing the antagonism between you two must have been pretty high. And having such a rival fall dead right during the biggest match of the season, it must have been like a blessing for you. Yeah, right. As if I would ever risk my career just to get rid of another player. I know what I'm worth. I could have crushed Troy without cheating. Listen, man, I had respect for Takiguchi. He was my only equal. Killing him where would be the glory in that? He's got a point. I don't wish bad luck on any of the people in Supercross. But I would like to see a competition and a dogfight, but I'm not going to get to see that this year. The victim's laptop was pretty boring. Was a pretty boring bundle of information, unless you love football. Nothing illegal that I could see. No threatening messages in his mailbox. The most noteworthy things are the photo albums. There are a lot of pictures of your victim hanging out with Madison Springer at parties, on picnics, after matches. Madison? You're talking about the head of the Psi Sigma Gamma sorority? Yep, she's also the leader of the Quails cheerleaders. Ain't that fitting? The cheerleader and the quarterback. How deliciously cliche. Let's go talk with Miss Madison, Matthew. About our relationship with the victim? Hello, Madison. We were wondering if you could tell us more about all the pictures we have found of you and Troy Takiguchi. It's pretty obvious, isn't it, Ranger Matthew? Troy and I were dating. We're really sorry for your loss, Madison. Had you and Troy been dating long? About 6 months, I guess. We hooked up after the last match of the season last year, but I didn't see much of him during the summer. With him, it was always football before everything else. He spent his days training to be the best. And look where it's led him. Worst of all, we were supposed to go to the prom ball together. We would have looked so dashing, and now I'm dateless. And this is what's bothering you the most? I'm sorry, Ranger Matthew. I'm still under the shock of it all. Troy was a nice guy. I'll really miss him. And I'll speed up the victim's body, just for 5. Well, Matthew, one thing is clear. Troy Takiguchi's death on that football field was definitely not natural. No kidding. I didn't think a human arm could ever get this big. Yes, that got me curious too, especially when I noticed a needle mark on Troy's arm. So I had to look at his medical file. Your victim was a type 1 diabetic. He injected himself with insulin daily. Except today, there was a secret ingredient on top of the insulin, a massive dose of erythropoietin, also known as EPO. EPO? You mean doping hormones? Yes, but I'm positive Troy didn't know about the EPO. The tests are clear. He never taken EPO before, with good reason. You see, EPO and insulin don't mix. The injection created a blood clot which traveled through the victim's arm up to his heart, and the resulting heart attack was fatal. So our victim was killed by EPO. That's a bit ironic for a professional sportsman, don't you think, Matthew? My family's got a history of diabetes, so I can understand why my grandma would take insulin and gets the pokes and all that stuff. Matthew, I've got good news. You remember the needle mark I found on your victim's arm? Well, I had a closer look at it. The area was a bit reddish, which didn't make sense. After all, your victim was used to injecting himself with insulin daily. Turns out Troy's skin got red because of traces of capsaicin, the substance that makes chili peppers so deliciously spicy. Obviously, he was allergic to it, which can only mean the killer left capsaicin on the syringe when they handled it, which means your killer eats spicy food. Ranger Matthew, sorry to interrupt, but something has happened at the university. Whoa, Ramirez, calm down. What's going on? I need to catch my breath. The university just called for you. There's been a break-in. Uh-oh. We'll have to unravel this thing in Chapter 2. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, it is Matthew. We're back. Let's go to Chapter 2 of Dead Man Running. Ranger Matthew, the university just called. There's been a break-in in the infirmary. A break-in in the infirmary? What are the odds of such a thing happening right after a student dies of an EPO injection? Troy only intended to inject himself with his daily insulin dose. But the killer added a lethal dose of EPO to the insulin. And where would Troy keep his medication but in the university's infirmary? Let's go there, Matthew. The infirmary's that way, according to the university's map. They put it near the football field because that's where students get injured the most. Hey look, Matthew, Chad Baker's training on the football field. I can't believe he's back on the field so soon after his teammate's death. Maybe we should go have a chat with him once we've had a look at the infirmary. What do you think? Well, the infirmary lock was clearly forced, Matthew. Let's have a look around. Look at this mess. I wonder if the burglar found what they were looking for. Syringe. A used syringe. Matthew, that's exactly what we're looking for. This could have been used for insulin injections. Which means Troy, our diabetic victim, might have used it. And his killer too. Let's send this to the lab immediately. I also wonder what's in this infirmary fridge. Maybe we should have a look at it. Okay, 24 hours. Okay, so sit tight, folks. I'm gonna get some stars, so I'll be back. Okay, I got the remaining stars. Let's examine the fridge. There we are. EPO vial. I can't believe you found a vial of EPO inside the infirmary fridge, Matthew. Surely this can't be part of the regular prescriptions. What's more, there was only one single vial. We better ask the university nurse, Miss Karima Breen, about this. You're right. And we also should take a closer look at the vial's label. I wonder what this black smudge is. Let's examine the vial first. There we are. I know it is hard with the laptop. Great, let's send the sample to analysis. I'll bet this will answer some questions about that EPO vial you found in the infirmary fridge. "24 hours as well. Thank you so much for investigating the break-in in my infirmary, Ranger Matthew. I know how busy you must be. Mrs. Breen, Ranger Matthew found a bottle of EPO in your infirmary's fridge. Do you usually store such products?" "No, of course not. I only have the basics and whatever the students need on prescription. Some hormones, sure, but EPO definitely isn't part of the list. Pretty much the strongest thing I store in here is my extra spicy health sauce, and that's just for personal use." "So you're telling us the burglar actually left something behind?" "Obviously, nothing's missing from my stocks. I'm used to stuff disappearing, but this I've never had before." "Wait, do you mean your infirmary was burglarized before? Why didn't you report the theft?" "I assumed it had been one of the kids on the football team looking for a little boost. I didn't want them to get into trouble." "Look, we all know doping is wrong, but I'd rather have the kids steal drugs from my infirmary than get God knows what on the black market." For someone who knows doping is wrong, Nurse Breen sure doesn't seem to mind it that much. "You're right, Matthew, we better keep an eye on her." About his new position. Now let's talk to Chad. Back on the field already, Chad? You're not wasting any time, are you? I've been sitting on that bloody bench for months. Of course I'm on the field. I'll have to train my ass off to be in shape for the next match. Don't you go looking at me like that, Copper. I deserve that break. It's not like Troy was a perfect angel anyway. Just because he was famous, he treated everyone like crap, girlfriend included. Man, if I was dating a girl like Madison, you're damn sure I'd treat her right. That girl is sweet like sugar and hot like chili peppers, and I love me some spice, if you know what I mean. Oh, so you didn't just want Troy's position on the field, did you? You also wanted the girl. You know, Chad, you can still confess, get a reduced sentence. Yeah, right. I didn't kill Troy. Now I've got to keep focused and get back to practice. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'll let these two run their courses. I'll see you for that. Alright folks, we're back. I'm gonna get the results of the syringe first. Matthew, the syringe you found in the infirmary is Troy Takaguchi's last insulin syringe. More precisely, this syringe is the one the killer used to administer EPO to Troy without his knowledge. But that's not all. I found traces of some type of hydrating sports drink on the syringe plunger. Wait, how do we know those were left by the killer and not by Troy? I'm glad you asked. The traces were left on the underside of the plunger's tip. The killer would have pulled it with his fingers to withdraw the EPO from the vial. Your victim, on the other hand, would only need to push on the top of the plunger to inject himself with the syringe's contents. Whoa, that's pretty clever, Nathan. So our killer had some kind of sports drinks before touching that syringe. There are still a lot of blank spots in this investigation, Matthew. Hey, I know. While Chad Baker is still taking his time at football practice, let's go have another look at the dorm room he shared with the victim. Are you in, Matthew? Yes, I am, Jones. But first, a look at the greasy substance. That EPO vial you recovered from the infirmary was a great find, Matthew. The sample you gathered on the label is a mixture of paraffin wax, petroleum jelly, and black pigment. In short, black makeup. Football players wear it to reduce sun glare, and the supporters often wear it as a show of solidarity. So this means that the killer left the makeup behind when they spiked Troy's syringe? Exactly. Thanks to that vial you found, Matthew, I can tell you your killer wears black makeup. I'm still kind of hanging around the 32,000 range, but hopefully I can surpass that pretty soon. Broken smartphone. Okay, oh. Not my best one, but still learning the ropes. Do this crime scene again. I know students are often careless with their stuff, but look at this cell phone. Did Chad and Troy use it as a football? This looks beyond repair, but I've said that in the past, and you've proved me wrong every time, Matthew. And this pile of papers looks like it'd be worth a look too, don't you think? Oh, let's do it right now. I have all the stars, I might as well use them. I know it sucks when I'm using a laptop for this, but what can you do? You never cease to amaze me, Matthew. This smartphone you found in Troy's room is completely functional again. It's also really pink. My super sleuthing senses tell me this phone doesn't belong to either of our roommates. Rats, the phone's data is encrypted. We're going to need Alex's input if we want to get ahead with this lead. Let's have him analyze it. Pile of papers now. Aha! A sports magazine. The sports magazine you found in that pile of papers is one of the most influential in sports, Matthew. The cover is really eye-catching. Boddicker versus Takiguchi, the rivalry that's got us excited for this college football season. Let's see what the article says. Page 34. While both are being considered for the selection, Takiguchi is rumored to have a strong lead this season. This means Boddicker was in danger of being passed up for selection by his rival Troy Takiguchi, who also happens to be the victim. Amid allegations of steroid use, Boddicker, in spite of his great record, doping? Well, I think Thomas, the Armadillo's quarterback, might need a good talking to about those allegations, don't you think, Matthew? About the rumors of steroid use? You think I dope myself? All because you read it in some cheap rag? Come on, Ranger Matthew, I worked hard to be fit like this and I'm proud of it. There's no pride in taking steroids. It's illegal, it's cheating, and it's low. It's everything I stand against. These rumors got spread around because it's the easiest way to destroy an honest player's career. If you're gonna play just to cheat, then it's no longer a sport you're playing, it's just make-believe. The most illegal thing I ever did was showing up at the Quails pregame cookout and stealing a couple hot wings. All in good fun though. They had a great southern style hot sauce that they prepared the wings with. Not for the faint of heart, let me tell you. Okay, smartphone will have to run its course, so for now this is Matthew. See you then. Okay folks, it's Matthew, we're back. Let's get the results of the smartphone. The smartphone you found in the victim's dorm room is Madison's. The encryption protocol on it was weak, so that didn't take long. What did take a while is browsing through Madison's photo library. She and her friends take a lot of pictures. Worthy of note for you, there's a picture of her out clubbing where she's seen pouring huge amounts of hot sauce in her Bloody Mary. Also, she's received text messages from her friends informing her that Troy Takiguchi was messing around. Troy was cheating on her? We need to talk to Madison as soon as possible, Matthew. about the victim's infidelity. Madison's in the middle of cheer practice, but she looks about ready to take a break, Matthew. Shall we? Madison, you were... Wait, is that a sports drink you're drinking? Well, it'd be a shame not to. They're free. Simple sports drinks have a sponsoring partnership with the Quails. Why, is that suspicious, Ranger? Most of the players drink these, including Chad. You might be happy to know I've seen Nurse Breen knock back a few bottles, too. That's very helpful. Thank you. Now, Madison, you wanted to break up with Troy, is that right? Oh, so you know about that then. Well, yes, when I realized that lying schmuck was cheating on me, I told him it was over. And you know what? He had the gall to get mad at me, as if his sleeping around had been all my fault. But anyway, that's all over now. I just want to move on and let Troy rest in peace. Ranger Matthew, could I have a word with you, please? We're kind of in the middle of a criminal investigation, Mr. Caldwell. This had better be important. But it is. It's about Karima Breen. Nurse Breen? The woman in charge of the university's infirmary? The very same. The thing is, Nurse Breen has got a criminal record. What? We'll have to unravel this in Chapter 3, so sit tight, folks. You don't want to miss this. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get to Chapter 3 of Dead Man Running. And hopefully put a killer behind bars. Ranger Matthew, I'm not usually the kind to rat people out, but my team's reputation is at stake here, and I will make damn sure you get every relevant info. We already know that our victim didn't know there was EPD in his insulin syringe. What we need to figure out is, who could have tampered with that syringe? And that's what I want to talk to you about, Ranger Matthew. Mrs. Breen, the university nurse, has got a criminal record. What? What do you mean, a criminal record? What kind of crime did she commit? I'd rather not talk about it here, if it's all the same to you. Can you meet me back at the field, Ranger Matthew? Well then, have it your way. We'll meet you there as soon as we can, Mr. Caldwell. Like I said, Ranger Matthew, I don't like ratting people out, but this is my team we're talking about. The truth of the matter is that Mrs. Breen has procured students with doping hormones in the past. What the... How did this happen? How could she still be working here if that's the case? It was a few years back. A student was caught with steroids in his room, and the investigation showed that Karima was the one who procured the pills for him. She should have been fired and blacklisted, but the dean decided Karima should be given a second chance. The incident was put on her record, and she got a hefty fine, but she kept her job. The whole system is going crazy these days, and having someone like that in the university isn't making my job easier. Sorry folks, that was my grandma talking to me. Oh, missed that one. But why would they listen to me when they know the nurse might just give them illegal doping hormones after hours? Oh, that's okay. You're right, Matthew. It seems Nurse Breen has some explaining to do. If she's handed out illegal substances to students in the past, who's to say she hasn't done it again? Oh, but while we're here at the scene of the crime, I'm going out on a limb here, but why not? But don't you think her killer might have watched Troy's death from the sidelines? Yay, I'm so glad you think the same. Let's have a look at the sidelines then. dirty towel. There we are. Only the people involved in the game could have had a use for this towel. It's dirty. There seems to be some red and black on it. I can see why this caught your eye, Matthew. Let's gather a sample. Fibers. Nice job, Matthew. I hope the fibers you collected from that dirty towel will tell us something about our killer. "24 hours. Okay, let's talk to Nurse Breen. So you've learned about that then. I dreaded the day it would come back to bite me. 4 years ago, I supplied one student with some anabolic steroids. I tried to talk him out of it, but he was desperate, obsessed with getting stronger and better. So you just gave in? You're supposed to be looking out for those kids. I told you before, I don't want my students to go buy counterfeit drugs on the internet. Getting them for me is much safer. Anyway, this only happened once. I pay the $7,000 fine now, and I don't give out anything without a prescription, and that's the end of it. We'll be the judge of that. We're going to have a final look at your infirmary, Mrs. Breen. Pill bottle. Nice. You've got good eyes, Matthew. I hadn't noticed this pill bottle. It was hidden under the furniture. Hey, that smudge on the bottle. That's black makeup. The EPO bottle had the same smudge. Which means this pill bottle must have been dropped by the killer. We need to figure out what it is. The writing on the label should help, but I can't decipher it. Can you give it a try, Matthew? Oh no. There we are. Great job decoding the label of the pill bottle you found in the infirmary, Matthew, but I can't figure out what the label actually says. 2259031XD. What the heck could this mean? Let's get this bottle to the lab. Hopefully someone will be able to figure this out for us. Okay, 24 hours. I'll see you guys for when these two run their courses. Alright folks, we're back. I'm a little behind schedule because I did go out and see some people last night. So let's get the results of this. The towel you found on the football field was very dirty, to say the least. The fibers you gave me bore traces, as you had correctly guessed, of black face paint and chili peppers. I also managed to find faint traces of EPO. Any clue who the towel might have belonged to? Our killer, of course. Correct. And there was yet another substance on the fibers, chlorophyll. This chlorophyll was deeply encrusted in the fibers, as if someone had used the towel to try and remove a grass stain from something else. But grass stains are notoriously different to remove without a thorough wash. Your killer still has a stain on their clothes. You have my word. The pill bottle you found in the infirmary holds vitamins, Matthew. Vitamins? Somehow I was suspecting something a little bit more illegal. It may not be illegal, but it's still useful. The label Matthew decoded is an estimated vitamins dosage. 225 over 90 equals 31XD. Means 1 pill per 90 pounds in weight. 3 pills once a day for a 225 pound adult. Which tells us that your killer weighs 225 pounds. Matthew, thanks to your hard work, we finally have everything we need to put Troy Takiguchi's killer behind bars. Matthew, let's go and arrest that killer. It's Franklin Caldwell. Coach Caldwell, I can't believe you were the one who killed Troy Takiguchi. Why would you ever do such a thing? Who do you take me for? I never meant for him to die. I just wanted to give him a boost before the game, that's all. Look, I knew there were going to be talent scouts from the major league that day. Troy's raw strength was admirable, but his endurance could have been better. I just wanted to make sure he would shine. So you added EPO to his insulin syringe, but you messed up the dosage. God help me, I did. We were so close, but I missed my last shot at giving the Quails national fame. A man is dead, and all you still think about is football? How did you even manage to tamper with Troy's syringe? How could he not know what you had done? Troy kept his insulin kit in the infirmary. I just waited for Nurse Breen to go out for lunch, and I sneaked inside. I had never used EPO. I didn't think mixing it up with insulin would be a problem. I had no idea it would kill him. Wait, but you did this before the match. Why did you break into the infirmary a second time after the murder? What did you intend to do? Once Ranger Matthew started getting close to the truth, I went back there to hide the bottle of EPO into Karima's supplies. The woman had supplied illegal drugs to students before. I thought if you had found the bottle there, she'd be the obvious culprit. So not only did you kill a student you were in charge of, but you tried to frame another faculty member for the murder. Ranger Matthew, I don't know for you, but I've heard enough. Franklin Caldwell, you're under arrest. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Mr. Caldwell, as the university football coach, you have been put in charge of students who looked up to you to protect them. Instead of that, you drugged a player without his knowledge, and in so doing, sent him to his death. What you did was reckless and unacceptable coming from anyone who has students in his care, Mr. Caldwell. I was a desperate man, Your Honor. I never wished for Troy to die. I wanted to help his career. Enough. I will not hear another word from you. For the crime of involuntary manslaughter on the person of Troy Takiguchi, this court sentences you to 4 years in prison and revokes your teaching license. Court is adjourned. Well, I hope the Grimsborough Quails will be on their way to recovery soon. Right now, they need to look for a new coach. The dean is thinking about renaming the university stadium Troy Takiguchi Memorial Stadium. Wouldn't that be fitting? That's this job for you, Matthew. No matter what happens, we always have to carry on. We'll be there to follow the Quails' progress on their next game, won't we? I hope this case has indulged your appetite for football, Matthew. Jones, I'm not a football fan. Taking a look at the other ones. Thomas Bodeker, clear from the start. Chad Baker, no grass stain. Madison Springer, not 150 pounds. Karima Breen, no face paint. And she's 155. Okay, I'll see you for the additional investigation. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start the additional investigation. I have to congratulate you for your success in this investigation, Ranger Matthew. You swiftly tackled the problem. And I'm happy to tell you that the Quails haven't let the ball drop either. They found a new coach and the match against the Armadillos has finally been rescheduled. I hope it won't be interrupted this time. But first I'd like you to check up on Karima Breen, the college nurse. After the break-in in the infirmary, I'd rather you keep an eye on the ball. Hey Matthew, I heard you're heading to the university infirmary. Can I come with you? I plan to watch the Quails and I'd like to meet the college nurse. She's one of my peers and I'm curious to know how she handles college students daily. Sure, Grace, I'd be more than happy to let you go with Matthew, as long as you don't leave us to start a new career as a university nurse afterwards. While I did want to become a nurse during my studies, I would have loved working with the dynamic youth, helping students and taking care of them. But I realize I protect young people better by helping to put the bad guys behind bars and working hard to make this world a better place. That's why I chose forensic studies in the end. And we're glad you did. While we're on campus, we could also check up on Madison and Chad before the match. They must be under pressure now, since they have to prove the Quails are the best even without Troy. Well, let's talk to Karima Breen first. Hello, Mrs. Breen. I'm Grace Delaney. I'm a forensic expert in Ranger Matthews' team. We were sent to see if you needed any help after the break-in in your infirmary. Nice to meet you, but please call me Karima. Mrs. Breen is my mother. It's nice of you to come all the way to help me. The infirmary is a real mess since the break-in. I'm usually a very neat person. I like my infirmary strictly ordered. It's like an obligation with all the toxic chemicals I stock here. I hope I can finish cleaning before the match. I really want to cheer our boys. I even created my own blue face paint, the same exact color as the Quails logo. It's a totally harmless liquid, and it's easy to remove. I've tested it. Really? That's nice. What kind of products did you use? I always thought about creating my own lipstick to have it the exact shade I want. Can I see the paint you made? Sadly, I don't even know where my paint bottle is right now. Since you're offering your help, Ranger Matthew, could you two search the blue paint bottle while I clean up the infirmary? Our pleasure. How anybody could miss that is beyond me. Perfecto. Good job, Matthew. This blue is similar to the Quails banner I've seen when we walked the campus. Everybody seems excited for the game against the Armadillos. It's nice to work with young people, don't get me wrong. I love working with you, Matthew, but when I was a student, I seriously considered becoming a school nurse. I just love children and teenagers. Anyways, with all those chemicals and drugs here, maybe this blue liquid isn't Karima's paint. It could be methylene blue, and you don't want this on your face. Trust me. Can you take a sample so I can analyze this liquid? Made it to 309. Moment, folks. Okay. And 3 of them. Oh, nice. 15 more. Well done. With that liquid sample, we'll be sure of what's inside that bottle you found. I'll do it as quick as possible. I can't wait to see if it's Karima's secret mixture. Okay, 12 hours. Now let's talk to Chad Baker, excuse me. I think I got civil beat on my mind. A local Hawaii Hawaii newspaper or what have you. Hello, Chad. How are you doing? You're the Quails quarterback now. The Armadillos won't go easy on you, and neither will I. I hope you have a good game plan for the oncoming match. Of course, I'm more than ready to kick it off. Like it or not, but the Quails are still the best, even without Troy. I just need to do my pregame ritual, and I'm sure to push it over the goal. Your ritual? Oh, please tell me you're not one of those highly superstitious players who think their mistakes are due to some misfortune. Think what you want, but before every game I play with my old football, mostly to relax. My father gave it to me when I was 6 and had it signed by my MFL idols. I do think it's a sign of bad luck if I lose it. But thanks to your nosy investigation, my own room is messier than ever, and I can't get hold of it. I hope I'll find it after my team's meeting. Anyway, it's not that important. I'll see you later. Matthew, Troy was so good. I doubt Chad can lead the Quails to victory without a bit of luck. I hate to see them lose. Can we look for his lucky football while he's out of his room? Absolutely. Just a moment, folks. Okay. Flag. Torn football. You're right, Matthew. Those worn-out leather pieces could be part of Chad's football. The ball seems probably broke after it flattened. Let's piece it back together. this is going to take a little time. That took a while. Good job, Matthew. You really pieced this football back perfectly. All the football players' signatures are in place. It still looks battered, but, well, even you can't do anything about this. It looks well used and beloved. Chad was probably showing off when he behaved like finding it wasn't important. I can't wait to see his face and we'll give him his football back. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering, why am I doing this case and it's a football case and I don't watch football? I don't know. I just think it's cool. Ranger Matthew, I thought you'd have left. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to talk and wouldn't feel like chit-chatting anyway. I had to prepare for the match and you'll probably need this football Matthew found torn up in your room. My football! Thank God nobody threw it away during the investigation. I was so worried I had lost it. I couldn't even focus. The meeting was a disaster. I barely fumbled through it. Thank you so much, Ranger Matthew, for restoring it. I know it was pretty damaged. It's a real relief. Thanks to you, I'm sure to be at the top of my game against the Armadillos. Yeah, you better win the game now. We'll be cheering for you from the bleachers, so crush them without mercy. Don't worry, the quails will win as the duck takes to water. If you plan to cheer us, you can wear those clothes for the match. They're quails uniforms. We have a lot of spare ones this year. Moment again, folks. I would like to see them do motocross. Okay. Now let's talk to Madison Springer. Hello, Madison. We came to cheer. Wait a second, officer. Beth, I know you can raise your legs higher. Smile, ladies. You're supposed to cheer the team and charm the public, not just scare them away. 1, 2, 3, jump. God, you're all hopeless. Let's take a break. Ugh, this is so frustrating. First I lose my special pom-poms, and now one of my best cheerleaders has the flu. The damn flu. As if we could replace her in the choreography easily. Actually, I know it's a bit unpolite to ask you, Ranger Matthew, but I really need your help. As I said, I lost my new cheerleader's pom-poms, the blue and gold pair I'm supposed to use during the match. I have another pair I used to train, but they're pink. It'll look ridiculous if the head of the cheerleaders uses worn-out pink pom-poms to cheer the quails in their blue uniforms. Please, can you look for them while I try to create something at least resembling a cheerleader's performance with my team? I haven't used those pom-poms since Troy's death, so they must be around here. Ball storage, syringe, traffic cone, dripping blood, dumbbell, made a mistake earlier. ball storage? You think someone could have put Madison's pom-poms in there, Matthew? Well, then I'll let you dig through this storage. You can take the ball and run with it. Perfect. Nice catch, Matthew. I would have missed those pom-poms among all the different sports balls stocked in this case. But we should make sure those are Madison's. Did you notice? The pom-poms are strapped together with an elastic and a label is tied to it. The ink has been smudged, but a little powder will make what was written on it legible, right, Matthew? Madison's special pom-poms. Do not touch without her permission. Yes, that includes you too, Beth. Those pom-poms are definitely Madison's. We can return them when she's done training, I guess. I wouldn't have thought she could be that bossy, though. I can hear her screaming at the cheerleader squad from here. This charming girl turns into a real drill sergeant during training. Come on, girls. It's 1, 2, 3, jump. Good. Now throw your pom-poms. 4, 5, 6. Turn around and... Porte. Perfect. Alright, everyone. Let's take a 5-minute break. I want it to be perfect for the match. Hey, Madison. Ranger Matthew found your pom-poms. Your special pair had been misplaced in the ball storage. Oh, thank you so much, Ranger Matthew. I'd have been so frustrated to use my pink pair. Can you imagine? The head cheerleader without good pom-poms? It's like a frat party without girls. It lacks charm and class. I'm not sure I understand that reasoning. Oh, you weren't a popular kid in college, right? Ranger Matthew, you can go to the food stand near the field. Tell the vendor Madison sent you. He'll let you have a hot dog or a burger for free. Alright, I'll let the blue liquid run its course and I'll see you for that. Alright folks, we're back. I'm going to speed up the blue liquid. So Matthew, I analyzed that sample you took from Karima's bottle, and I'm happy to tell you nothing's wrong with it. It's definitely harmless, and it's a very interesting mix for a face paint. Seriously, even the products sold in supermarkets are more toxic than this. Of course, you mustn't put too much on your face for too long, because your skin's pores need to breathe. But it's still a very delicate paint. Karima is an awesome chemist. Let me change and we'll bring it back to Karima. She put a lot of efforts in this ingenious liquid. It shows her dedication towards her students. News is on right now. Let's give the paint bottle back. My face paint. Thank you, Matthew. I'm so glad to have it back. I can't wait to put it on. I've made sure nothing toxic was lying in the infirmary, but I'll finish the cleanup after the match. Thank you for your help. Wait a minute, while I put my face paint on, do you want some, Grace? I bet you look good with it. Thank you, but I think I'll pass. My red hair skin dislikes this kind of products, even if yours is less aggressive than usual. But if you want, we can go by air horns and then watch the game together. I'd love to have a chat with you, even more since you told me about that paint you made. It'd be my pleasure to cheer our boys with you and air horns, Grace. Here, Matthew, take this as a thank you. Feel free to use it to buy whatever you want to cheer the Quails. Let's show them we're here. Let's show them we're there.
With
Okay? And that is going to do, and I'll see you guys for another case. But I will say though, right now, I am in the process of working on case number 26 in the World Edition, but because I got a late start from getting to see my favorite news team in action in the studio live on Thursday, I will hold off on another Elite Mode case this week. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then.